everyone, it's Lynnea with a video for the Scrapping for Less store, and today I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done in quite a while. When I first started making cards, I was addicted to pattern paper and I would use it on every card and I rarely stamped. And then once I discovered inks and stamps, I kind of got away from patterned paper. But this month, I am working with the Scrapberry's Ocean Enchantment paper pad, and I really loved these papers. So I flipped through, I gave you a little look at all of them, and then I'm going to go through and pick out some of my favorites. And as we work through this card, you're going to see that I changed directions. And at the end, I'm going to do something that might shock some of you, but I encourage you, if you're not loving your projects, to look at it in a different way and see what you can kind of alter and edit to make it something that you love. So I'm starting out with this waves pattern paper, and it kind of looked like waves or like seashells or something. And so I thought I would use my scissors and trim off the top so that it would have the waves or the scallops at the top, and then I could just trim it flat on the bottom, and this would be the base of my card. So when I cut, I make sure to use the pattern paper or move the pattern paper rather, and keep my scissors straight. So you'll see my left hand moving, but my right hand stays straight. So that piece of pattern paper is going to go at the bottom of my card. But coming up from the top, I wanted there to be some waves, and I didn't really have a waves stencil, so I took a look at what I did have, and I found this clouds stencil from Pink and Main, and I use this all the time. I do love this stencil, and I looked at it and I thought, well, I wonder what would happen if I ink blend off the bottom rather than the top. You know, if you go on the top, you're going to get puffy cloud shapes. But here I'm blending off the bottom of the stencil and I'm getting the reverse. I'm kind of getting waves shapes. So I'm using some Peacock Feathers Distress ink, and I just went all over the top of my card. Now at this point I had intended to put that strip of the scallops pattern paper at the bottom, so I didn't think I needed to cover the whole card base. And then I wanted to add just a little bit of sparkle, so I'm using my Spectrum Noir clear overlay glitter pen just to kind of go over those scallop waves there. So now I'm looking at this yellow fish pattern paper, and I love that they have all of the same fish, but there's, I think, 4 different sizes of fish. So once again, I'm using my scissors, making sure to move the paper and keep my scissors straight. And I'm cutting out a whole bunch of these fish, and then I'm just going to arrange them behind that like pattern paper kind of peeking up from the bottom, and this is going to be my card. The only stamping I'm doing is I'm using the May All of Your Dreams Come True sentiment from the Critters Ever After stamp set from Lawn Fawn. I put this into my mini Misty. I just kind of arranged it how I thought my card was going to look and fitted my sentiment into that design. And then I stamped it with Versamark and used some white heat embossing powder. I added some foam, the fun foam, to the back of that pattern paper strip and glued that onto my card. And now I'm going to again rearrange my fish how I want them to go. And I'm going to use a mix of liquid adhesive and foam squares to glue some of these fish straight to the back of the card. And then I'll use foam squares to pop up the big fish. There'll be one on the left and one on the right. I'm using iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. This is my favorite liquid adhesive. And then I added some clear droplets. And I'm looking at this card and it's not me. I don't like the look of that scalloped at the bottom. I think it covers up too much of the card. And I really loved those yellow fish and I wanted them to be the focal point. So I did something that might shock you and might make you gasp, but I tore apart my card. I very carefully tore back that adhesive, and now I'm using an adhesive eraser just to make sure that I get all of that adhesive off. I'm going to very carefully apply some more of those waves shapes using the cloud stencil from Pink and Main and the Peacock Feathers Distress ink. And you're going to see that in my haste here, I blotched my ink a little bit. But my plan is actually to cut out more of those yellow fish. There's 2 sheets of each of the papers in this paper pack. And so I could just cut out some more fish, and then I'll cover up that blunder there. I'm just going to kind of go in with a little bit more of the peacock feathers ink just to soften and blend everything together. And then again, I will go in with my Spectrum Nora Sparkle pen and add some shimmer to the waves. I added some more clear droplets and some more fish, and I love how this card turned out. And I love that those pattern paper fish are really the focal point of this card. I hope you enjoyed, and you can head over to my blog or to the Scrapping for Less blog to see some still photos and get some more information as well as product links. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!